Can I be mad at God without even knowing that I'm mad at God? Welcome to the first episode of Bed Talk with Zoe. Can I be mad at God without even knowing that I'm mad at God? Absolutely. Here's why. Okay, you have a couple that go for counseling, right? And they're both telling the counselor how they feel, what is wrong, what their significant other has done to them, right? But they are not relating it to the people that matter the most, which is themselves. They're not talking to themselves. They're avoiding eye contact. They're avoiding any form of communication. And then you have the counselor say, hey, talk to each other. This is about the both of you here. This is not about anybody else. And that brings me to the book of Job, when Job's wife told Job to curse God and die, right? Based on everything Job was going through, based on everything that went wrong in Job's life, and he refused to do so. Sometimes we're mad at God without even knowing we're mad at God. I mean, use myself as an example. I'm going through things in my life, and I tell everybody else around me, I go to everybody else around me, genuinely just pouring out my heart, but I'm not going to God. The number one person that matters should matter and can help me, right? I'm not going to Jesus, who is my burden bearer, who can take away the burden. I'm avoiding that conversation with him. I'm avoiding going to God altogether. And when you look deep down in that, you will find out that way. I'm not going to God because I'm mad at God. And just innocently, you might not even know that you're mad at God. I've been in a situation like that where um, the enemy is like, hey, just curse God. You know, you say you love him. You say he loves you. Why is it letting you go through all of this? Why is it watching you go through all of this? Why is it watching people make mockery of you? And in that split second, it's like, just curse God and die. And the enemy always looks for moments where we're burned, moments where we're vulnerable, moments where we're in the storm, right? We're in the lion's den. That's when the enemy comes, right? Um, and in that moment, I was just like, Satan, get it behind me. And I paused for a second. I said, wait, Zoe, are you mad at God without even knowing you're mad at God? I had to check myself. Like, there's one thing to be going through storms of life, right? Trials and tribulations, and you're too broken, too hurt, too weary to pray, right? But yet you still desire to stay in the presence of God. But you would know you're mad at God when you don't even want to hear anybody mention God. You don't want to be in the presence of God. You don't want none of that. Okay? And it's not because whoever or whatever got you to that state of brokenness, you might not even be thinking about them. But it's more like, God, you're my father. You're my father. You're my God. Like, why are you letting me go through this over and over again? That dawned on me. I was like, God, Daddy, hold on. Let me check myself. So it is possible to be mad at God without even know that you're mad at God. Honestly. And that is where the resentment comes in. And that is where people literally just don't want anything to have to do with God. And they just altogether just say, hey, no, God has left me. And there are times where people show it that they're mad at God. But I'm talking about the people that are mad at God without even knowing they're mad at God. So pay attention to those signs. God forbid that we're mad at God. God wants us to come to him with everything we're going through. He wants that vulnerability from us. He wants us to show it because Jesus, while he was here on earth, he showed that vulnerability, right? In the Garden of Gethsemane, okay? He was telling God, look, if this cup can pass me by, please, I don't mind, you know. Nonetheless, not my will, but yours be done. So please, no matter what it is that we're going through, the enemy will never win in our lives. He will never get us to the point where we're hearing curse God and die, or where we get to a point, that we're saying, hey, I don't want nothing to do with God. God is not our enemy. He's our Father. He's our good, good Father. So to anyone that is going through anything, to anyone that seems to be at the crossroads, to anyone that the battle is raging in their mind is so overwhelming that they are drowning in it, you are not alone. Just go in the presence of God and just stay there. Just say, Son of David, have mercy on me. Just say, God, I am here in your presence. Just help me. I am so weak. I'm so beat down. I'm so broken, but I need your help. We have to humble ourselves. And I pray that as we make that decision to go to God in humility, in total surrender, because there is nothing we take to God, there is no problem we take to God that has no solution. Remember, where there's a miracle is because there was a problem. And when there's a problem, the miracle worker shows up and he changes the scene. Pray that may God help each and every one of us. Please go to God. Go to God with every hurt, every pain, every doubt, every uncertainty, because He's your Father. He's our Father. And His Emmanuel is always there. Stay blessed, everyone. Shalom.